then you set up teaming.
Yeah.
How did this idea grow up?
The first step, when I had this feeling that I really wanted to generate funds for these small foundations where they treated my daughter, the first thing I did was let's say, fundraising on the typical way, which meant contacting one company, talking with one person and applying for one amount, which could be 5,000 or 10,000 euros. And I found out that it was really difficult to raise the funds that way. And I talk about the year 2000, 2001, which means that these days, this big world crisis going on, it's almost mission impossible to raise the funds that way. But based on that situation, I got the idea to do it the other way around, which meant contacting with the same companies, talking with the same persons, but instead of applying for one big amount, I thought I can apply for a teamwork. That's why I created the name Teaming. I'm not really creative with the words, because I thought that it should be possible that within a company, within an organization, the employees that want to, on a voluntary basis, they give only €1 or $1 of their payroll per month. I think we all agree that $1 per month is the same as nothing. It's a symbolic amount. I thought it's easy nowadays to put these euros or dollars on an internal account of the company, so I don't touch anything, I just spread the idea. And the other part of the idea, for me, which is the most important part, meant that bottom up, between all the participants, people that want to, they can propose which projects to fund. And after 6 months or after a year, for example, on a democratic basis, people vote which project to finance. So that was the simple idea, which nowadays is Teaming, which nowadays is being applied in over 40 countries, in more than 1,000 companies. But it was really born that way. It was really inspired because of the difficult situation, which was the typical fundraise method.
Mm-hmm. How does teaming work for companies and then for common people? Because you said that it starts for companies, but now everybody can form the group.
That's correct. In the past 10 years, I developed teaming, especially in Europe and also in Latin America, where teaming always was applied through the payrolls in companies, which was quite an easy way to do teaming. The only barrier, although, is that people can only do teaming when they are colleagues in the same company. So when this started growing, we got a lot of messages from students, from people who said, okay, I love this idea of doing teaming because the amount is limited. The only thing you can do at teaming is giving $1 per person per month. We are all the same in teaming. And people, they started asking me, how can we do this outside the company? How can we do this with friends at Facebook, at Twitter, at LinkedIn, for example, through a credit card or through PayPal? And that was really the first step of starting talking to internet companies, big consultant groups, to see how we could develop a new platform where people could do teaming outside the companies. And that's how basically the new teaming.net website was born. It was thanks to two big sponsors we have in Spain. They're all over the world, but their headquarters are in Spain, which is Grupo Intercom and Everis. Together with these partners, we set up a private foundation. They invested almost €1 million in setting up a new technology, which you can already see and which already works also in the States at teaming.net, where you can set up your own teaming group, where you can invite your friends through Facebook, through other social networks, and where you can participate teaming through your credit card. And that's the big difference of how teaming worked in the past 10 years.
In teaming, there's a limited amount, which is $1 or €1. What amount is for the course, and how much money does the bank get from this?
The good news is that 100% of the donations, it goes all straight to the projects. This is the first project in the world where we don't charge any bank commission, and where we don't keep any cent for our own structure. We are quite lucky, as I said before, that we have got good sponsors who finance our structure, who finance our technology. We have good agreements with international banks, and they cover all the bank costs. This means that you can do teaming with your friends, and that every dollar or every euro that goes to your own teaming group goes straight to your cause. We don't keep a cent of commissions or whatsoever.
So then, who's nowadays behind teaming, and how do you pay the people who work for teaming?
It's two companies nowadays. It's Grupo Intercom, which is a leading internet company with headquarters in Spain, and it's Everis, which is well, a big Spanish consulting group. And in the States, we're also lucky that we work together with Craigslist, which is quite known, and they also support us both finance economically and also with their technical resources. So these are our partners nowadays, and it's great that we can work this way, although my big dream is that one day we can finance ourselves by teaming, because we have a group which is called Teaming for Teaming, where people can also donate $1 per month to our group. So if you think that teaming makes sense and it gives you a lot of funds for your projects, you can give us $1 per person per month. And my dream is that one day we can cover our costs only by this group, so we don't depend anymore on sponsors, advertisements, etc.
And there's the limit of $1, but is there a limit of groups that you can support?
No, you can support the groups that you like. There are already a lot of people, they participate in more than one group. You can lead one group and participate in 5 other groups, for example, which then in the end will cost you $6 a month, which is still very little. It's important to emphasize that at Teaming, the amount is limited. So the only thing you can do at teaming.net is giving €1 or $1 per person per month, not any other amount, because we even have done some researches with University of Barcelona, because some people, they might think that if you leave the amount open, you can achieve much more funds. But we have seen that it's the other way around, that if you limit the amount, you achieve much more, especially when the amount is so symbolic. Because nowadays there are a lot of crowdfund platforms, and we've seen that if the amount is open, you might be willing to participate, but if the amount is open, you might think that giving $2 is very little, because everything is transparent and everybody can see it. And if you give $50, which is much more, but then of course you notice the difference in the pocket. So we've seen that if you limit the amount, there's not any doubt and it's easier to participate. The other thing which is different in Teaming, and we also think it's important, is that it's automatic. It's every month. You don't even have to think about it anymore, because there is a lot of ways to do fundraising, but it's always ad hoc. It's always once at a time, which means that normally the next month you forget about it. And we've seen that once you participate in one teaming group or more teaming groups, you just sign up once, and automatically this $1 a month for your group is taken off your credit card number once a month. And of course you can cancel this whenever you want, although we have always seen that once teaming starts it can only grow, because the amount is so symbolic that it's very difficult that people they cancel it. But we've seen that these 2 points are really key, that the amount is limited. It's also a nice message for us that at least in this project we're all the same, because we live in a world where everything is based on differences. And at least in Teaming there's a project where we are all the same. Here it's really doesn't matter if you are a CEO or a student, $1 a month, we can afford that, all of us. And to make it easy, so to make it automatic every month, that also helps a lot, apart from the fact that what I mentioned before, that it's completely free of costs.
And what happens when a group achieves the goal that it was opened?
What we've seen so far is that the groups, they start raising funds, they well, describe a goal altogether, and once this goal is achieved, normally, the groups, they stay alive and they propose new projects, because that's the easiest thing to do. We've seen that in the past 10 years in the companies, that normally once a year people, they finance one project, and then they ask to the participants, whoever knows a new project, they can propose it and they can vote all together which will be the new project to finance. And at teaming.net, where everything is online, we see the same tendency, that there's, for example, a very nice example of teaming doing for one person. For example, there's an ill child, and a friend of this family, he set up a teaming group. They have almost 900 persons in their group, which means already here in Europe €900 a month. These are all friends, family, teachers from the school of this boy, and well, he's really recovering, he's doing very well. And the other day I talked to the father of this child, and he said that of course they will always try to maintain this group in order to finance other families with same problems they've met during this process. So that's, I think, and I repeat it very often, but I've really seen it in the past 10 years, that once teaming is born, it can only grow.